Our planet has some incredible places that seem impossible to exist. In these special locations, science and mystery come together in surprising ways. You can find places with strange magnetic forces, rivers that are hot enough to boil, seas without any beaches, and deep holes that hide many secrets. Both scientists and explorers find these places fascinating because they show us that our planet still has many mysteries we don't fully understand. Come with us as we explore some of Earth's most mysterious places. The Sargasso Sea is a unique place in the Atlantic Ocean. Unlike other seas that are surrounded by land, this one is surrounded by ocean currents. It's like a huge pool of water trapped between flowing streams in the ocean. In the past, sailors were scared of this area because they thought their ships would get stuck there forever. This amazing sea is incredibly large. It's bigger than many countries, stretching 3,200 kilometers long and going as deep as 7,000 meters. What makes it really special is what you can see at the surface. Huge patches of brownish-gold seaweed called sargassum. There's so much of this seaweed that you can actually see it from space, and it creates a home for many sea creatures. The Sargasso Sea is full of life, which is unusual because most parts of the open ocean are quite empty. Baby sea turtles grow up here, and many rare sea animals make it their home. All kinds of creatures, from eels to white marlins, live here or pass through during their travels. Scientists made an important discovery here. They found out that this is where eels come to breed, solving a mystery that had puzzled people for hundreds of years. Deep in the Amazon rainforest lies a killer that defies logic, a river so hot it cooks anything unfortunate enough to fall into its waters. At a scorching 93 degrees Celsius, this thermal wonder doesn't just simmer, it brings death to its depths. Local shamans have long regarded it as sacred, while scientists struggle to fully explain its existence. Unlike typical hot springs, this river stretches for miles through the jungle, creating a deadly corridor where geothermal forces turn water into a natural cauldron. Scientists have documented a grim parade of victims, from tiny microorganisms to unwary mammals, all succumbing to its lethal embrace. The steam rising from its surface creates an otherworldly atmosphere, especially during dawn and dusk. What makes this phenomenon even more remarkable is its singularity. It stands alone as Earth's only long-running thermal river of this magnitude, prompting urgent calls for its protection. Recent studies suggest that this unique ecosystem might harbor extremophile organisms that could revolutionize our understanding of life in extreme conditions. Off the coast of Belize, a perfect circle of darkness pierces the turquoise Caribbean waters. The Great Blue Hole isn't just a diving destination, it's a time capsule from the last ice age, when sea levels were hundreds of feet lower. This geological wonder has attracted explorers and scientists from around the world, including Jacques Cousteau, who declared it one of the top 10 diving sites in the world. The Great Blue Hole is a huge underwater cave. It's 300 meters wide and goes down 125 meters deep. It was formed long ago when sea levels were much lower. Inside its dark waters, scientists have found something remarkable. Beyond 90 meters down, almost nothing lives there. Using special underwater sound equipment, researchers have discovered new cave systems and rock formations that tell us about Earth's past climate. The place has a darker side too. Divers have lost their lives here, and you can find their equipment and memorial plaques nearby. This shows us that even with modern technology, nature can still be very dangerous. Scientists have also found interesting rock formations called stalactites that formed when this cave was above water, helping us learn about how sea levels changed over time. Mount Roraima is an amazing mountain in South America that looks like a giant table rising from the Amazon rainforest. It stands 2,770 meters high and is so unusual that it inspired famous stories, including The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Located between Brazil and Venezuela, this flat-topped mountain really does look like a lost world. Its steep cliffs lead to a mountaintop often covered in clouds, making it look mysterious and magical. The environment at the top is so different from the surrounding areas that it feels like being on another planet. The mountain's top is huge, about 31 square kilometers. It has dark rocks, clear pools of water, and unique plants that can survive in tough conditions. The story of how Mount Roraima formed is fascinating. It started when Africa and South America split apart long ago. Water and meteors created big holes that filled with dirt and rock over millions of years. Hot magma turned this material into stone. Over time, wind and rain shaped the area, leaving behind the tall walls of quartz rock we see today. These rocks are incredibly old, over 2 billion years old, making them some of the oldest exposed rocks on Earth. The top of Roraima is home to many special plants and animals that you can't find anywhere else in the world, including the world's tiniest frog. Many waterfalls flow down its sides. Because the mountaintop has been isolated for so long, it has become a special place where unique plants and animals have evolved. Some of the interesting plants that live here include meat-eating plants that have adapted to the poor soil, and orchids that can bloom all year round despite the harsh weather. The mountain's unusual conditions have made it a perfect place for plants and animals to develop special ways to survive. Imagine massive rocks weighing as much as a piano, mysteriously sliding across a desert floor without any human intervention. For many years, these huge rocks weighing 350 kilograms have been moving across an old lake bed in Death Valley at the border of Nevada and California, leaving long trails up to 200 meters long. This was very puzzling because no one had ever seen these rocks move, until recently. These trails make interesting patterns on the ground that look like ancient writing. Scientists finally solved this mystery through careful research. Here's what happens. During cold winter nights, a very thin layer of ice forms under the rocks, about as thin as a pencil. When the morning sun warms things up, this ice starts to melt. This creates a slippery surface, and when strong winds blow through the valley, they push the rocks across the ground, like a natural ice rink. To figure this out, scientists had to work hard. They set up special cameras to take pictures over time and equipment to track the weather. They worked in Death Valley's tough conditions, where it gets extremely hot and cold, to understand how these rocks move. Deep in Minnesota's Judge Magny State Park lies one of geology's most perplexing mysteries, a waterfall that seems to defy logic. The Devil's Kettle, as locals call it, splits into two streams. One follows the river's natural course, while the other plunges into a dark hole, vanishing without a trace. This geological anomaly has puzzled scientists and captured imaginations for decades. Scientists have tried many experiments to figure out where the water goes. They've dropped things like ping-pong balls and GPS trackers into the hole, but nothing has ever come back out. What makes this even more interesting is that the hole isn't made of soft rock that water usually carves through, it's made of hard granite. Every minute, thousands of gallons of water disappear into this hole, which makes it even more mysterious. Scientists can't explain this using normal geological reasons. They can't find any cracks in the earth that would explain where the water goes, and they haven't found any old lava tunnels or rock layers that could carry the water away. Even with modern technology, we still don't fully understand this natural wonder. Scientists have used special dyes to track the water and other modern equipment to study it, but they still haven't figured out exactly where all that water ends up. Picture yourself walking on a beautiful beach in the Maldives at night. Something amazing happens. Every time a wave hits the shore, the water glows bright blue. This isn't made up, it's real, and it's one of the most beautiful things you can see in nature. People have been coming to see this magical light show in the Maldives for many years. What creates this magical phenomenon? The answer lies in microscopic marine architects of light, bioluminescent plankton. These remarkable single-celled organisms possess what scientists call living light technology, transforming the shoreline into a natural light show that rivals any man-made spectacle. Each tiny organism, barely visible to the naked eye, contributes to a massive display that can illuminate entire coastlines. Here's how this amazing blue glow works in simple terms. When waves move the tiny plankton around in the water, they react by creating light. It's like turning on a tiny blue flashlight. The plankton use a special substance called luciferase that makes them glow bright blue. They developed this ability over millions of years as a way to protect themselves. When something disturbs them, they light up to either scare away predators or draw attention to whatever is bothering them. This beautiful light show has become part of local culture, with people telling stories about sea stars and ocean spirits that make the waves glow at night. These days, both scientists who want to study it and tourists who want to see its beauty come from all over the world to watch this amazing natural light display. High in the Peruvian Andes, there's an amazing mountain called Vinicunca that stands 5,200 meters tall. People also call it Rainbow Mountain because it looks like a giant rainbow painted on the earth. The world only found out about it recently, in the 2000s, when melting snow revealed its beautiful colors. The mountain stripes come from different minerals in the rock. Red comes from iron, yellow from sulfur, and other minerals create purple, brown, and green colors. These colorful layers formed over millions of years as different materials built up in the mountain. Before becoming a famous tourist spot, Rainbow Mountain was a secret known only to local people. Now it's one of Peru's most popular places to visit and photograph. Local communities have always thought of it as a sacred place, and they've helped scientists learn about how the mountain formed. Today, both tourists and scientists come here, tourists to see its beauty, and scientists to study how mountains form and change over time. However, there are some worries about Rainbow Mountain's future. As more people visit, it's important to protect the mountain from damage. Scientists are also concerned that climate change, which helped reveal the mountain's colors by melting its snow, might eventually harm these beautiful colors. This makes Rainbow Mountain not just a beautiful place, but also a reminder that we need to protect nature. Near Mauritius, there's an amazing sight in the ocean, what looks like a giant underwater waterfall. But it's actually an illusion. The waterfall is really just sand and silt on the ocean floor, creating a pattern that tricks your eyes. This beautiful sight is so special that UNESCO has made it a World Heritage Site. The pattern formed long ago from volcanic activity and ocean currents that shaped the seafloor. When you look at it from above, it's one of the most beautiful ocean views you'll ever see. The Devil's Pool in Australia sits in the middle of beautiful green rainforests and old granite rocks. It's a deep, mysterious pool of water that plays tricks on your eyes, making it look endless. Local Aboriginal people have stories about this pool being cursed, and sadly, several people have died here. Despite these dangers, many adventure seekers still come to visit. What makes it so dangerous? The pool has strong underwater currents and whirlpools because of its special rock shape. The rocks around the pool are millions of years old and were created by ancient volcanoes and years of water and wind wearing them down. Deep in the Mexican desert lies a phenomenon that has puzzled researchers for decades. The Mapamai Silent Zone, often called the Devil's Triangle on land, stretches across a 50-kilometer expanse near the Durango Biosphere Reserve. Here, radio signals mysteriously die, compasses spin erratically, and locals whisper tales of strange lights in the night sky. Scientists have documented numerous magnetic anomalies within this zone, leading to speculation about underground mineral deposits or unusual geological formations. The area gained international attention in the 1970s when a U.S. military missile accidentally landed there, leading to a surge in scientific interest and mysterious encounters reported by research teams. There's a strange place in New Brunswick, Canada, that tricks people's eyes in an amazing way. When you park your car there, something weird happens. It looks like your car is rolling uphill by itself. Of course, this isn't really happening. Scientists have found that it's just a clever trick of the eye. What's actually going on? The surrounding hills and landscape create an optical illusion. What looks like an uphill slope is really going downhill. We just can't see it properly because of how everything around it is positioned. It's like when you look at certain drawings that seem to change depending on how you look at them. This special spot has been a popular tourist attraction since the 1930s. People love coming here to experience this mind-bending illusion for themselves. Interestingly, there are other places around the world with similar illusions, though each one is unique because of its specific landscape. There's an amazing lake in Tanzania called Lake Natron that's unlike any other lake you've seen. Its waters are bright red and so full of chemicals that they can turn animals into stone-like figures. The water is extremely alkaline, similar to household bleach, because of ash from nearby volcanoes that has mixed into the water over time. While this might sound like something from a science fiction movie, it's completely real. Famous photographer Nick Brandt has taken stunning pictures of the animals that have been turned to stone by the lake's harsh waters. What's really surprising is that despite these dangerous conditions, the lake is actually home to thousands of flamingos. In fact, it's the most important place in East Africa where lesser flamingos come to breed. These amazing birds have found a way to live and thrive in this harsh environment that would be deadly to most other creatures. In Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys, there's an amazing site called Blood Falls, a bright red waterfall flowing from Taylor Glacier into Lake Bonny. The water is red because it contains a lot of iron, and it's also extremely salty. Very few people get to see it in person because you can only reach it by helicopter. Scientists have discovered something incredible about this red waterfall. The water contains tiny living things called microbes that have been living there for millions of years, completely cut off from the outside world. These microbes have found a way to survive in conditions that would kill most other living things. By studying these tough little organisms, scientists hope to better understand how life might survive in extreme places, even on other planets. In a forest in Poland, there's a strange and fascinating sight: hundreds of pine trees that are bent like the letter J at their bottom. These trees were planted in the 1930s, and something made them start bending during World War II. No one knows exactly why these trees grew this way. Some people think humans did it on purpose, while others believe it was caused by nature. Scientists have a few ideas about what might have happened. One theory is that heavy snow or strong storms bent the trees when they were young and still growing. Another idea is that local people shaped the trees deliberately, planning to use the curved wood to build boats or make furniture. The fact that there was military activity nearby during World War II makes the mystery even more interesting. Each strange place we find tells us something about how the Earth works, how living things adapt, and how much we still don't understand about nature. While scientists are slowly figuring out some of these mysteries, others might always remain unexplained. That's what makes nature so fascinating. It never stops surprising us. These mysterious places aren't just interesting for tourists. They're also important for scientists who are trying to learn more about how our world works.